Welcome back to 50 Famous Stories Retold. Today we'll read about a bold English captain and the young girl who saved his life. Let's look at the vocabulary and key places for our story. Take a moment to talk or think through the vocabulary and find today's story on the map. You might even compare its location to a modern atlas. If you have the lesson guide, now is a good time to pause, fill in the words you already know on the vocabulary page, and grab your blank map.
Pocahontas. There was once a very brave man whose name was John Smith. He came to this country many years ago, when there were great woods everywhere, and many wild beasts and Indians. Many tales are told of his adventures, some of them true and some of them untrue. Among the latter is the following story. One day when Smith was in the woods, some Indians came upon him and made him their prisoner. They led him to their king, and in a short time they made ready to put him to death. A large stone was brought in, and Smith was made to lie down with his head on it. Then two tall Indians with big clubs in their hands came forward. The king and all his great men stood around to see. The Indians raised their clubs. In another moment they would fall on Smith's head. But just then a little Indian girl rushed in. She was the daughter of the king, and her name was Pocahontas. She ran and threw herself between Smith and the uplifted clubs. She clasped Smith's head with her arms. She laid her own head upon his. "Oh, father," she cried, "spare this man's life. I am sure he has done you no wrong, and we ought to be his friends." The men with the clubs could not strike, for they did not want to hurt the girl. The king at first did not know what to do. Then he spoke to some of his warriors, and they lifted Smith from the ground. They untied the cords from his wrists and feet, and set him free. The next day the king sent Smith home, and several Indians went with him to protect him from harm. After that, as long as she lived, Pocahontas was the friend of the white men, and she did a great many things to help them.
Time and again, that brave young girl stood between the settlers and disaster. A truer friend they could not have found. We do the planning, the books come alive, your child does the learning. See you next time.